Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. I am so happy to be joined by the head coach of the Nicholls State Colonels football program, Tommy Rybacki. Suffered a tough one to Stephen F. Austin, a very good football team out there in Nacogdoches. Coach, thanks for being with us. I'm watching the game on Saturday night. You talk about adversity. When you talk about the weather delays and everything that goes to it, when you talk about first time you get the ball, you go boom, boom, boom down the field and you get down to the 3-yard line and you have a turnover down there. Just obstacles with a good SFA team that's hard to overcome, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The margin for error is small when you're playing a good football team, and they are definitely that, playing them on the road in those conditions. You don't have a lot of room to make mistakes. We needed to convert on that first drive of the game and get points on the board. We would have taken a 7-3 lead, which would have been big, and then also would have controlled the field position a little bit better for the first half of the game.
In watching the game, of course, the weather delays were something. But that being said, Stephen F. Austin, we go back to Lamar. We even go back to the Texas State and the Troy, two teams that are doing well. Everybody you've played except for Eastern Kentucky has a winning record. Obviously, it was a situation where the front end of your schedule, now that we look at it, obviously, hindsight 2020 now is very easy to see. It changes now a little bit. And I'm not taking anything away from McNeese or Houston Christian or Northwestern or Rio Grande, but now it is manageable. Is that a good word?
Yeah, I would say, you look at the season in two halves, really, and there are definitely a lot of really good football teams on the front end of our schedule, also on the back end of our schedule. These next teams that we're playing are going to be good football teams who have gotten better throughout the year. But from a record standpoint, yeah, you look at a Lamar, a Stephen F., definitely off to a strong start. And then the year that Troy is having, and then, Texas State, those are good football teams along with West Georgia. And so now we get into a part of the season where the teams align more like we do from a record standpoint.
So this week it will be McNeese. That is going to be a 3 o'clock in the afternoon start time. It is obviously going to be at home. And when I say obviously, because we've been waiting for a long time for it to be at home, and we're extremely excited about that. A lot of things going on in that game. I know the 2005 class of football players there at Nicholls State are coming back because they obviously had won the conference championship back then, but you also have the big Hall of Fame class, the Hall of Distinction class going in also. Talk about McNeese a little bit. 2-5 on the year. They've played good competition. What kind of team might we see in the Cowboys?
Yeah, I think you're seeing a team that's starting to, create their identity. They're a strong running football team. They're averaging about 200 yards rushing per game and 200 yards passing per game. So pretty balanced there offensively. And then defensively, they got a lot of carryover from the previous few years with the defensive coordinator being retained. So you're going to see a familiar look defensively from them. But again, they're starting to create their identity, find out who their players are with this new staff.
I know, and listen, we talked a little bit before we went on air. You're not one to talk about the injury situation too much, so I will. I'll take that liberty to do that. Have you been around a team that has seen the sort of injury bug bite, especially in this condensed period of time that you're seeing right now with the Colonels?
No, this has definitely been a unique season. With 13 surgeries, season-ending injuries. These are not, guys with a bum leg or something. These are significant injuries, and so it's unfortunate. But it's also opportunity for a lot of other guys on our team to step up and, showcase their talents and skills as football players.
Again, we mentioned SFA is a good football team, obviously, in the Southland Conference. Probably will contend for the title. That being said, you had some moments on defense. Ethan Lee has a big game with a ton of tackles in that game. Things on defense, because a lot of times we talk offense, things on defense that you see room for improvement on.
Yeah, in the secondary, I thought we didn't do a very good job on the perimeter screens. They were able to, kind of count the box, throw the ball out in the perimeter and get 5 to 10 yards, multiple times in the game. We got to be more physical in the perimeter, create better edges, be able to run inside out and make tackles in those situations, because that's, too easy for the offense to be able to do. And I thought a couple times in coverage, our guys, we got lost a little bit in coverage and not executing, either proper technique or exchanging the routes the right way. So definitely areas where we can improve on the back end that'll lead to more success defensively.
Offensively, you had been running the ball extremely well, not so much this past week. We've also seen a little bit more of Ian Rodrigue. What might we expect going forward?
Yeah, we'll see. Deuce was unable to finish the game with an injury, and so we'll see how this week goes and what that looks like for him, heading into the McNeese game. And then also Ian's somebody that we've tried to get involved offensively because he does have a good skill set, and he's able to do some things that open up some of the run game for our offense.
Quite bluntly, the keys to success to beat McNeese this Saturday.
Yeah, we got to be able to run the football offensively. We got to be able to stop the run defensively. We got to prevent the explosive play on defense, sustain drives, finish drives, and get points on the board. And then if they get down into the red zone defensively, we got to get some stops and be able to limit their opportunities to score points.
Well, listen, folks, it's been beautiful weather. Enjoy your Saturday afternoon. Come out to John L. Guidry Stadium. Again, a 3 o'clock start time there in Thibodaux. We hope to see a big crowd there. And, Coach, as always, we wish you the best of luck this Saturday.
Thank you, Stan. I appreciate you.
Again, Coach Tommy Rybacki of Nicholls State University. 3 o'clock start time against McNeese this Saturday. Hope you're in that number. We'll be back right after this timeout.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.